Hello and welcome to our class. First of all, good afternoon everybody. Today we'll see Science 1 Standard Test Periodic Classification of Elements. So in previous sessions we had completed the page number 24. That was all the electronic configuration, the groups, the laws. But now we will see the periodic trends in the modern periodic table. Now see, when the properties of the elements in a period or a group of the modern periodic table are compared, certain regularity is obtained in their variation. Now, if you compare the groups, even the elements, group wise or you say period wise, means vertical or horizontal. So there you will find some variations, and that is known as periodic trends. Now, we are going to consider here valency, atomic size, metallic character and non-metallic character. Now valency, in previous standards you must have known what is valency, that is the ability of the element to combine. Now we'll see here, the valency of an element is determined by the number of valence electrons present in it. For example, sodium is how much? 281. So this last shell, what electrons are present? This is the valence shell and the electron is the valence electron. So sodium is having one valence electron. So that valency of an element is determined by the number of electrons present in the outermost shell of its atom. That is the outermost shell, and that is the valence electrons. Now, what is the relationship between the electronic configuration of an element and valency? Relation is that the valency is determined by the number of electrons present in the outer shell. Now, the atomic number of beryllium is 4 while that of oxygen is 8. Write down the electronic configuration of 2 and reduce the valency of the same. Now, if you see over here, you will find for beryllium, see, beryllium atomic number is how much? 4. And the other is oxygen. For oxygen, atomic number is how much? 8. Now you can write the electronic configuration over here. What you will get? It is 4. So you will get 2, 2. Here you will get for oxygen electronic configuration you will get. So here you will get 2, 6. Now if you see the outermost electron over here, 2. See, if the outermost electron is 1 to 4, then that element will donate those electrons. But if it is from after 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in that case you will find that it will accept electrons because it is not possible for it to donate so much electrons. So here the valency is 2, so because last it is 2. Shell, the valency is 2, it will give away 2 electrons. Here if you see, it is 6 over here. Now to make that complete octet, it will require 2 more. So instead of giving 6, it will take 2 and complete its octet. So here valency, how much it is? 2. Now further, what is the table on the next page is made on the basis of the modern periodic table. Write in the electronic configuration. So this you can write from first electron right from hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, fluorine, oxygen, neon. So you can write all the atomic numbers along with the electronic configuration. That is easy. Now, what is the periodic trend in the variation of valency while going from left to right within a period? Explain your answer with reference to period 2 and 3. So we'll make period 2 and 3. So this is period 2 and 3. So here you have lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Now if you see the atomic numbers over here, you will have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So what will be the electronic configuration over here? It will come to 1, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 and 28. Your octet is complete. Now if you see over here for the third period, what you are getting over here are sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. Now you will find here it is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. These are the atomic numbers. So here you will get 281, 282, 283, silicon it is 284, phosphorus it is 285, sulfur it is 286, chlorine it is 287 and argon it is 2,88. Now if you see over here, now see change in valency. Now see the valency. Here it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is not 5, it is 3. 8 minus 5, 3. 6, 7, 8, 2. 1. Here 0. Octet is complete. If you see over here also, see the valency is 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 and after 5 you have to minus from 8. So here it is 3, 2, 1, 0. So you will find that the change in valency, it varies with electronic configuration. With electronic configuration the valency is varies. Now number of valence electron is different in these elements. However the number of shell is the same. Now see the number of valence electron. It is changing from here, na? 1, 2, 3. But the number of shells are remaining same. There are 2 shells only if you see in this period. If you see in this period, all are having 3 shells, but the valencies are varying, means it is different. So in a period going from left to right, the atomic number increases by 1 at a time. Left to right. So here atomic number is increasing by 1. See now, there it is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So by 1 it is increasing. And the number of valence electrons are also increasing. Not valency, valence electron. Valence electron 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are valence electrons because they are present in the outermost shell. Valency is different. So as the atomic number is increasing, number of valence electrons are also increasing. Now, so you can tell that from left to right the valency varies. Now this is with reference to period 2 and 3. Now next we will see what is the periodic time variation of valency while going down a group. Now we will see group wise. See here for group wise, if you take group 1, group 2, first you will have hydrogen that is having 1, lithium you are having 2, 1, potassium you are having 2, 8, 1, sorry, sodium you are having 2, 8, 1, potassium it is 2, 8, 8, 1. Now here beryllium you are having 2, 2, magnesium, calcium. Magnesium it is 2, 8, 2 and calcium it is 2, 8, 8, 2. Then we will see for group 18. Group 18 what you are having? Helium, neon and argon. So here you are having 2, 8, 2, 8, 8. Now if you see over here, valency is the number of, see, valence electrons, if you see over here, all is 1 only, but the number of shells are increasing as you go down. See, here it is 1, here it is 2, here it is 3, here it is 4. Same is happening over here. See, 2, 3, 4. But see the valence electrons in the last shell, it is remaining same. If you see here, see helium where 8 is not that, but see you know that duplet state, it is stable. So electronic configuration is complete. Here octet state, here octet state. Valence here is 0, but it will not react. They are also known as inert gas elements. Why? Because their octet is complete. Now if you see, valence is the number of valence electrons in the outermost shell. See, here if you see, whatever is the outermost shell, that is your valency over here, because this you can give. Here see, 1 electron, 1 you can give, and then octet is complete over here. In this case also, valence electron is 2, so their valency is how much? 2. Now if you see, all the elements in a group have the same number of electrons, and elements in the same group have same valency. Same number of valence electron, 1, 1, 1. Valency also same, 2, 2, 2. Same number of valence electron down the group, and valency also 2. So here, for hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, valency is 1. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, it is 2. And argon, valency is 0 because its octet is complete. Now we will see for further. Now what you have? Atomic size. Now see, atomic size. You have seen in the previous standard that size volume is a fundamental property of a matter, substance that is made up of. Now size of an atom is indicated by its radius, that is from nucleus to the outermost shell. So atomic radius is the distance between the nucleus of the atom to its outermost shell. From the nucleus to the outermost shell, that is the atomic radius, means that will give you the size of the atom. Now atomic radius is expressed in picometer. Picometer is smaller than nanometer, means it is very very small. So here 1 picometer is 10 raised to minus 12 meters. So like if you don't want to put minus 12, then it will be 0.00, it will go until 12. So here some elements and their atomic radii are given. Now see, we will see element and atomic radius. This is in picometers. Now see the element: oxygen, boron, carbon, nitrogen, beryllium and lithium. Now if you see here, for oxygen it is 66, 88, 77, 74, 111 and 152. This is there on page number 25. This is 7, correct? Now see what questions they have asked over here is, by referring to the modern periodic table, find out the period to which these above elements belong. If you see the modern periodic table, they belong to period 2. They belong to period 2. Now arrange the above elements in the decreasing order of the atomic radii. So when you are arranging it to decreasing order, what will come first? Lithium. Then you will get beryllium. Lithium is how much? 152. Beryllium is 111. Then you will get 88. Then you will get 77. Then you will get 74. Then you will get 66. And 74 is nitrogen. This is oxygen. This is carbon. And 88 is boron. So you have arranged in decreasing order. So now you will find here. Now, does this arrangement match with the pattern of the second period of the modern periodic table? See, it is matching the pattern over here. See, how much is lithium? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is arranged in order. So here, when you are arranging in decreasing order of the atomic radii, you will find that you are getting the setup of the elements that it is there in the periodic table. Now further, which of the above element have the biggest and the smallest atom? So here if you see 152, this will be the biggest, and this is 66. These two will be the smallest. This oxygen is the smallest, but 74, they both are having small size. Lithium will have a big size according to the value. So they will have the smallest, nitrogen and oxygen, and here it will have lithium. Now what is the periodic trend? From left to right. So what you feel? Atomic number is increasing. Atomic number increases. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Atomic radius decreasing in a period. It is decreasing. 152, it is becoming less. So in a period it is decreasing, and also the atomic size is also going on decreasing. So size, what is atomic number is increasing. When atomic number is increasing, atomic radius is decreasing. If atomic radius will decrease, then size will also decrease. Now further we will see. Now this is down the group, we will see the elements. This is a picometer only. Now see they have given down the group: potassium, sodium, rubidium, cesium and lithium. So potassium you are having 231, 186, 244, 262 and 152. Now if you see over here, by referring to the modern periodic table, find out the groups to which the above element belongs. See the sodium, potassium, it is referring to the first group only. So it belongs to the group 1. Then arrange the above elements vertically downwards in increasing order of their atomic radii. So how you will increasing order of their atomic radii? So first we will have lithium, it is increasing. Then we will have sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. So lithium is how much? 152. Sodium 186, 231. Rubidium is 244 and cesium it is 262. So now if you arrange it in increasing order, now you have to match with the periodic table. You will find that they are coming in the same first group and they are arranged how they are arranged in the periodic table. So they are asking, does this arrangement match with the pattern of the group 1 of the modern periodic table? Yes, it is matching with the modern periodic table group 1. So what you will get here, down the group atomic number is increasing, atomic radius is also increasing and atomic size also will increase. Atomic radius will go on increasing over here. Atomic number is increasing. If atomic number is increasing, see the atomic radius, the number, it is also increasing. And if it is increasing, then size will also increase. Radius will increase and size will also gradually increasing. So down the group, atomic number is increasing, and as a result what you will get, that the atomic radius is also increasing, and because of atomic radius, atomic size is also increasing. See, you can see this example. So further you will find that by going down the group, the atomic size goes on increasing. Down the group, if you are going from top to bottom, atomic size goes on increasing. This is because by going down the group, a new shell is added. Now if you see the electronic configurations we had seen, for lithium it is 3, 2 281, 2881. So see the number of shells, they are going on increasing. Therefore, the distance between the outermost electron and the nucleus goes on increasing. If the shell is increasing, if one shell it is increasing, then the distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell it will increase. That is why the size also is increasing. As a result of this, the atomic size increase in spite of the increased nuclear charge. Even if nuclear charge is adding, one electron, if it is added, nuclear charge is getting added over there. So nucleus is becoming more positively charged. But at the same time, no, the distance is increasing between that. So distance is increasing, so that is why the size is increasing. It is for it to pull, the distance is becoming more, so the size goes on increasing. Now we see the metallic and non-metallic character. Now see, look at the elements of third period and classify them as metals and non-metals. So what are there in third period? See, third period, what you will get? If you see in your modern periodic table, you will get sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. Now out of this, you can classify metals. These three are metals. These are non-metals. Now see, here you will find silicon comes in a metalloid. So from phosphorus it is non-metals. Now from left, see, metals they are arranged on the left hand side. Non-metals they are arranged on the right hand side. So metals are to the left and non-metals are to the right side. So we will see further now. Non-metals, where you find non-metals, you will find to your right hand side of the periodic table. Metals you will find to the left hand side. So it is seen that the metallic elements like sodium, magnesium are towards the left in your periodic table. That you will come to know when you will see the periodic table. The non-metallic elements such as sulfur, chlorine are towards the right. The metalloid element silicon lies between these two types. So they see it is towards the left and right. Between these two, the silicon, which is a metalloid, it lies between two. Now it is seen that the zigzag line separates. If you see the modern periodic table, you have that zigzag line, and around that only that metalloids are present. It is seen that the zigzag line represents the metals, separates the metals from non-metals in the periodic table. So zigzag line separates the metals and the non-metals. Elements appear to have arranged in such a way that the metals are on the left hand side of the line. So on the left hand side there are metals. You can refer to the periodic table, and on the right hand side they are non-metals. Elements appear to be have arranged in such a way that metals are on the left side of this line, non-metals on the right side, and metalloids are along the border of this line. So metalloids are along the border. Metalloids, they have both properties of metals as well as non-metals. Now let us compare the characteristic chemical properties of metals and non-metals. It is seen from the chemical formulae of simple ionic compounds that cation is in them is formed from a metal, while anion is formed from a non-metal. From this it is understood that metals have a tendency to form a cation by losing valence electrons. Now for sodium, if you see, so it is losing this electron, metals, and here this ion it is forming, that is Na plus. In chlorine, see, chloride ion here, how much it is? 287. Here it is taking one electron. 281, it is forming that chloride anion. Minus negative charges are anions, positively charged are cations. So from this we understood that the metals have a tendency to form a cation. Metals have a tendency to lose electrons and form cations. And non-metals, they gain electrons and form anions, that is negatively charged ions. So this property to lose electrons is called electropositivity. Electropositivity of the element. If they are losing electrons, then they are known as electropositive elements like metals. If they are gaining electrons, that is electronegativity. On the other hand, an atom of a non-metal has a tendency to form an anion by accepting electrons from outside into its valence shell. Like I told for chlorine. Now it will not give 7 electrons. Instead it will take 1 electron from it, from others, and it will form that chloride anion. So we have already seen that ions have a stable electronic configuration of a noble gas. See, octet becomes complete over here, 8. Now, how is the ability to lose or accept electrons in the valence shell determined? All the electrons in an atom, they are held by attractive force exerted on them by the positively charged nucleus. Now, all these electrons, they are pulled towards itself because of that nuclear charge in the nucleus, that is positively charged nucleus. Because of the presence of the effective nuclear charge, before that, electrons in the inner shells lie in between the valence shell and the nucleus. Because of their presence, the effective nuclear charge exerting on attractive forces on the valence electron is somewhat less than the actual charge. Thus, the number of valence electron in metals is small. So, number of valence electron in the metal is small. What is happening? Now, between the nucleus and the valence electron. The valence electron is the last shell. So, in between also shells are there. So, those are also there. Electrons are there. So, they will also get effect of that nuclear charge. So that the nuclear charge gets divided between electrons also. So what total nuclear charge is not affecting on the last shell. That is why they easily lose electrons. Also, the effective nuclear charge exerting attractive force on the valence electron is small. So that attracting force is small. Why? Because in between also electrons are there. Na? They will also get that effect. So it becomes less until it reaches the last electron. As a combined effect of these two factors, metals have a tendency to lose valence electrons, and because of these metals, they have a tendency to lose valence electron and form cations, having a stable noble gas configuration. The octet is complete. This tendency of an element called electropositivity is the metallic character. So metallic character is what? Electropositivity. Metals are electropositive. Then we'll see the periodic trend in the metallic character of the elements is clearly understood from their position in the modern periodic table. Metallic character of elements belonging to the same group. While going down the group, a new shell is added, resulting in an increase in the distance between the nucleus and the valence electron. This results in lowering the effective nuclear charge and thereby lowering the attractive forces on the valence electron. As a result of this tendency of atom to lose electron increases. Also, the penultimate shell becomes the outermost shell on losing the valence electron. The penultimate shell is a complete octet, therefore the resulting cation has a special stability. Due to this, the tendency of an atom to lose electrons increases further. The metallic character of an atom is its tendency to lose electrons. Therefore, the following trend is observed. The metallic character of the element increases while going down the group. Now see, while going down the group, if you see, one, now see, down the group when you are going, the shells are increasing. So the shells will increase. So what will happen? Here electrons are increasing in between. So this effective what the nucleus charge is there, it is exerting less force on the valence electron because these electrons are coming in between. Now if the shell will go on increasing, the distance will increase, in between electrons will increase. So what will happen? That nuclear charge exertion which is there, force, that force is acting on these electrons also, so that it is breaking, the sharing is going between of these electrons. So this is getting very less force of attraction from the nucleus, that is why they easily lose electrons. So that is not tightly held by the nucleus. So this is what it was. After losing this electron, this is the penultimate shell now. Before shell, last shell, that is outer shell, before the shell which is there, that is the penultimate shell. So now after losing that electron, the penultimate shell is completely filled, so that's the cation which it is forming, it is stable. So going down the group, you will find that the electropositivity will increase because they will lose easily electrons. So see, as also the penultimate shell becomes the outermost shell on losing electrons. The penultimate shell is a complete octet, we see just now. Therefore, the resulting cation has special stability. Due to this, the tendency of an atom to lose electrons, so it will go on losing last electron because here the distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell is increasing. So that nuclear charge which is there, the force of attraction, that is going on decreasing. So it will lose electron easily. So that is why the electropositivity down the group, it is increasing. Due to this, the tendency of the atom to lose electron increases further. So the metallic character of an atom is its tendency to lose electrons. Therefore, the following trend is observed. What trend is observed? That the metallic character of the element, it is increasing down the group because they are becoming more electropositive. So metallic character is increasing down the group. While going from left to right within a period, the outermost shell remains the same. We had seen previously the periods 2 and 3. The number of shells were remaining same. However, the positive charge on the nucleus goes on increasing while the atomic radius goes on decreasing, and thus the effective nuclear charge goes on increasing. As a result, the tendency of the atom to lose valence electron decreases within a period from left to right. When you are going from left to right, the number of shells they remain same. The valence electron keep on adding in the last shell only. So what will happen? The distance is not increasing, and as the electrons are coming, the nuclear charge, it is increasing more. So it is pulling the electrons more. Now the distance is not increasing. So the distance is remaining same and positive charge is going on increasing. So what will happen? More force of attraction will be there. So it will attract the electrons more. So they will not be able to lose the electrons easily. So here the positive charge on the nucleus goes on increasing while the atomic radius goes on decreasing. So the atomic radius, we saw the periodic trend in atomic radius also in a period. It is becoming smaller. So the tendency of the atom to lose valence electron within a period from left to right decreases. So it will decrease. The two factors, mainly the increasing nuclear charge, and the decreasing atomic radius as we go from left to right within a period, they are responsible for increasing the effective nuclear charge. Now therefore the valence electrons are held with greater and greater, as I told earlier, they are attracted towards the nucleus. The nucleus will hold those electrons, it will not let it go. So this is called electronegativity of the atom. This is known as electronegativity. Due to increasing electronegativity from left to right within a period, the ability of the atom to become anion by accepting outside electron goes on increasing. So they will not lose electron, instead they will take electron, and that is why they are forming the anion, negatively charged. The tendency of an atom to form an anion or electronegativity is the non-metallic character. So it is non-metallic character, and non-metallic character is increasing from left to right. Now we'll see about the halogens. The group 17 contains, see first always remember, while going down in any group, the electropositivity of the element, this we seen earlier, electropositivity goes on increasing because the atoms, they lose electron easily because of the distance that is increasing, because the new shell is going on added. While going from left to right, the electronegativity is increasing because of the effective nuclear charge. the electrons are coming in the same shell. So the distance is not increasing, the force of attraction is increasing, so they are pulling the electrons towards itself. So they can't lose electrons, so they instead they take electron and form anions, that is electronegativity. So further, so larger the electropositivity or negativity, it is becoming more reactive. The elements become more reactive. Now halogens, the group 17, that is chlorine, bromine, iodine, you must have seen in the periodic table. Those are known as halogen, and they have the formula X2. For example, see, X2 means like for if you place here Cl, you will get Cl2, Br2, I2. So the general formula here they are given as X2. Gradation is observed in the physical state down the group. So down the group some variations they are showing. Now fluorine and chlorine they are gases. Bromine is a liquid while iodine is a solid. So these variations they are showing down the group. So this is all we have for periodic classification of elements. So I hope you have understood, and please do read the textbook. Thank you.